Welcome to bonus content.
Bonus content.
Can we start over?
Just keep going.
Okay, bonus content, pop culture crisis. I'm your host, Miracle Sam. Here's my co-host, Brett.
Guys, how's it going? I am Brett, and we are here with bonus content tonight.
Yep.
We are going to talk about the movie Moonfall.
We're reviewing it.
We're going to talk about the movie Moonfall. We just saw it. And if Miracle, she kind of slipped up on her words a little bit there, that's okay. You know why? Because we don't have to really worry about dialogue because this movie didn't really care much about dialogue, and that is fine. Before we get started, we are going to do spoilers. We're going to talk spoiler content the whole time. I need to give you guys a heads up ahead of time. I love horrible movies. I especially love disaster movies. I am unashamed to admit that I love Roland Emmerich movies. I love Michael Bay movies. Yep. I know that they are not good cinema. I know they are not excellently made, dramatic interpretations of great stories. That does not stop the fact that I love going to theaters and watching movies like this. Miracle, this is one of those movies that she had to basically put up with me laughing the whole time at scenes that are not supposed to be laughed at. Basically, the whole time they're talking about the moon. Yeah. Like, the moon the moon is after us. Yeah. This movie is not meant to be watched in any type of serious capacity. $150 million budget. So we're going to get right into the nitty gritty of the movie here. So it had a $150 million budget. I'm going to bring it up right here on the screen. This is on the IMDb page. And so this was written and directed by Roland Emmerich. You guys know him from such classics as Independence Day. And in my personal opinion, Day After Tomorrow. I love that movie.
You actually like that movie?
I love that movie. Like, I'm sure the climate change people now probably get rock hard when they think about that movie being it is what it is. That's fine. Okay. 2012, I don't mind that. I hated Independence Day Resurgence, but that's because I have such a strong opinion of the original Independence Day that the sequel was never going to be any good. Personal opinion.
I just want to say 2012, the movie poster, that one was really good.
Yep. The poster.
I'll say that.
Yep. So this movie stars Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, John Bradley, and then the other characters. So we'll go into it here. So Halle Berry plays Jacinda Fowle. I don't ever remember hearing her name mentioned in the entire. That was like an ongoing thing. Like, you didn't know any other than Patrick Wilson's character of Brian Harper. You didn't know anybody's name in this movie. By the way, Brian Harper was the name of a Minnesota Twins catcher from the 1991 World Series. Just saying.
Nerd.
Yeah, I know. So John Bradley played Casey Houseman. So Dr. Houseman. He was probably the best character as far as
I loved him so much.
He inhabits the ridiculousness that is this movie comes out through his character of being a conspiracy theorist, NASA nerd. Who ends up being right about all this stuff. And I'm going to have a hard time discussing the plot because I barely know what the hell the plot was. All I know is the moon is out to get Earth, and it has something to do with artificial intelligence. No, it's not the moon. It's artificial intelligence on the moon.
Yes, get it right. So it's AI that was created by our ancestors a billion years ago. Hold on, you guys. This is the best pitch ever. Billions of years ago, and the AI became sentient. And it was like, I gotta kill every living organism
for some reason.
Because
they didn't want to become they didn't want those organisms to become a threat to their existence.
I don't know
somehow. Oh, because the AI had the singularity happened. What we have to admit is that Roland Emmerich does not do well.
He doesn't.
What he does well. Okay, Independence Day is more sci than fi, meaning that it's there's aliens, sure, but it's mostly mired in the story of human beings trying to use human like actual like earthbound solutions to destroy an alien race that's out to get them, right? As soon as Independence Day Resurgence came out, they now have alien tech, which makes it's just not as interesting, and he doesn't do artificial intelligence well at all.
But hear him out, because like the first Independence Day, they left their technology there. That's why they have.
No, I understand why it makes sense why it's there in the sequel, but I don't think he does as well. He does better when the humans don't have
that good.
Yeah, he writes the fiction or he writes like the human elements of science fiction very well. Okay, very well is a huge. I understand. Look, guys, I understand that what I'm saying here is I understand that this is objectively not a good movie. I'm not saying that in any way.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I have the time of my life seeing movies like that. The dialogue is really bad. It's awful.
It
like,
is.
Like you can there's a scene where Halle Berry has to give this speech on the platform of a spaceship, and you can literally see the cringe in her eyes as she gives this speech, because it's like it's supposed to carry the same weight as the speech that President Whitmore gives in Independence Day, but they've done nothing yet in the movie, and none of the characters feel like they know each other. Yeah, they all feel thrown together. There's no actual emotional connection between all of them. The strongest you could say is between Brian Harper and the Casey Houseman guy.
Yeah, for sure.
They kind of became friends, but like Jacinda Fowle, what kind of name is that?
I don't know, man.
Her and Brian Harper, like, even though they were on a space mission in the past, you don't feel like there's any past history between the two of them. And the story there is that Patrick Wilson, so Brian Harper's, the character of Brian Harper, saves Fowle in a mission in 2011, which was like the first appearance of this artificial intelligence that nobody knew about. And then, by the way, they advertised Donald Sutherland like heavily in this movie, and he comes in for literally one scene and talks about how like Apollo 11, like he's like they shut down the cameras for 2 minutes and blah blah. It's ridiculous. The whole plot of it is ridiculous, but stuff blows up, and I loved it.
Okay, but before you cut me off again, but basically,
I apologize.
No, you're good. So basically, why the AI attack human beings? Because they said, why am I serving something that's less intelligent and less able to protect itself? Okay. So we got to get rid of these like weaklings. So it's that's why it did that.
It's like an evolution thing. Okay. They horribly. Was I not there when they explained this?
No, you weren't. You were in the bathroom. So Brett and I took a couple of bathroom breaks.
No, I took one.
Well, I took one also.
And I ran. Okay.
I took one also, but I did it in the beginning where I deemed not that important yet.
The whole thing is important, man.
Okay. Awesome. But basically, hear me out. So this AI basically killed all the moon colonies. There's multiple ones. Again, hear me out.
And all this stuff, by the way, is in the center of the moon.
Yeah, so basically, the moon that's our Earth moon basically was the one that created Earth. And it was the only one that survived. But somehow this AI found it. Somehow. Yep. And like basically all the colonists inside the center of the moon decided to sacrifice themselves in order to save the people on Earth.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And then he's got a son who you feel
Sonny, which is ironic.
He's got a son whose name is actually Sonny.
Yeah.
Who's like, he gets arrested.
Yeah.
Like really the son's storyline could have been completely eliminated, and they could have just done like the nanny. Yeah. And oh yes. By the way, this is a 10-cent production. So the nanny randomly speaks Mandarin with their kid for no reason whatsoever. It's very clearly a producer's note. They're like, you have to include Mandarin in here somewhere. It doesn't fit into the storyline of the movie at all.
But it's so funny because Halle Berry, basically her character is like, yeah, take care of him. But later you find out that it's not a nanny. She's a foreign exchange student that's doing free labor.
No, they didn't say free labor.
Well,
I'm guessing she's being paid.
I'm saying she's doing free labor. I'm saying she's doing free.
So Halle Berry was taking, Jacinda Fowle was taking advantage of this lady and using her to take care of her son while she's off. Oh, also remember, like this
movie so dumb.
The head of NASA just quits and like, anoints her head of NASA.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just like, here's my credentials.
He basically said, here's your clearance.
Yeah. He hands her his ID card. I'm like, there's no password that comes with that.
Just flash them the ID card. Yeah. That's all you need.
Okay, so she's made acting head of NASA by the head of NASA basically quitting and saying, you're in charge now. That's how it actually works, I'm sure. And remember, as this stuff is going on, so the moon is out of orbit, and stuff on Earth is just randomly going bad because the science. Again, I am not a scientist,
but okay. So the science behind it is basically the moon. Basically, it's orbiting. Thank you. It's orbiting. Okay, I'm skipping over the word. Basically around the Earth, and also its gravitational pull. It helps us with like our oceans and our water within Earth.
They did this in Independence Day too. Remember the spaceship is like, it's got its own gravity.
Yeah, but basically what happens is like when the moon is out of its orbit. Finally, I said it right.
You got it.
Okay, so when it's out of its orbit, basically the ocean tides and sea tides basically pull forward. So you're going to die. You're going to die from drowning. And that's what they show in the movie. And also,
the thruster gives out on the way up, and they have to use like the moon gravity pulling the ship up into the air. This ain't the movie Gravity, folks. This is not Gravity. This is not Arrival. This is not Independence Day. This movie's
not that intelligent unless you like. Somebody check out the math because they do a lot of math equations in it, and I want to see if it's accurate.
It's not accurate. It's so bad.
You don't know because Big Bang Theory, basically they had a math theory on the show, and then it actually solved a big science theory.
Do you remember
that became a real thing?
There was like a scene where they like have all these numbers written, and it says like Earth, Moon, and then something else in like big block letters. I'm like, I don't feel like this is how stuff actually gets figured out at NASA.
No, but it was so funny because like she said, okay, Salt, his name is Casey, right? The British guy who died at the end.
The
fat guy.
Casey. Not
Casey?
Casey Houseman.
Oh, that's dumb. Okay. This movie's so dumb. But basically, Halle Berry's character is like, okay, solve the problem within like 60 seconds of going around the moon. And he's like, it'd be like this amount. And she's like, okay. And she like tells the character Brian, she was like, okay, within 43 seconds, turn the knobs. And I'm like, how did he do math that quickly?
The movie is narratively a gigantic mess.
It's so dumb.
The thing is, I love the visuals. They're not even that. The CGI isn't even all that good.
No.
But the thing is, I love it. It's like I would never watch this movie again, not in a theater.
Well, also, I just want to say, you know how movies, they have basically sponsorships and like planted brands. Yeah. So this movie is brought to you by Lexus.
Oh my god. He's like, we're gonna hit they leave eco mode. Like the product.
No, he didn't hit it. He turned it off.
He turned it off. Yeah. No. So like, but I'm saying like, Brian Harper's wife remarries Michael Pena, who's a jerk.
But he dies.
But then he kind of has like a redemption moment in the end.
Yeah.
And the problem is, all of this stuff, I see what they were trying to do, but you don't ever feel any type of actual connection with these characters. I do with Harper and with Houseman together.
Yeah.
But Halle Berry just, like, she looked miserable while filming a lot of these scenes.
This is another part that I didn't like about her.
She's such a good actress.
She's a good actress, but her character, basically she betrayed her friend because like basically they're talking to basically they're talking to the US government, but I don't know what
basically
branch.
they have to do like an inquiry, like a Senate committee hearing.
Okay,
when they come back to explain what happened on this first mission.
And he explains about the AI, but he couldn't like explain it into words
because he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. And then Halle Berry, like, her character was basically knocked out, so she couldn't see it.
Yep.
And then they asked her like these general questions.
Could it have been a solar flare? And she's like, yeah, I guess.
And then he's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
And basically he loses his title as an astronaut. He gets pretty much fired. His wife
leaves him, or they don't really explain if she left him or if they just
they fell
apart
because like they lost their house, because it shows in the beginning Sonny is like a young little kid. Yep. And they're packing everything to move somewhere else.
Also, maybe the most unrealistic dialogue any kid has ever when the kid's like, is that why we lost the house? I'm like, the kid's like 8. He doesn't use phrases like, is that why we lost the house?
But yeah, also another thing, if do kids really watch like scientific like interviews
no.
at that age? Because I know like our coworker Lisa, like she watches like some scientific things with her kid, but they have to dumb it down for kids.
Yeah. Well, plus they don't like, they went the route where the kid doesn't talk like a kid. No. The other kid, Halle Berry's son, does a pretty good job.
His name is Jimmy.
The character's name is Jimmy. Yeah, he does a pretty good job of portraying like a child, playing a child.
Mm-hmm. Like it made me so sad because at the end he's like, Mommy, we didn't get to Daddy, and she's like, it's okay, and I'm like, what? The whole thing, and remember, all of this stuff is happening, and then there's a vague plot line where the military is gonna nuke the moon. Exactly, nuke the moon. That should be Elon Musk. Okay, dude, they have a hard on for Elon Musk for no reason. Yeah, this movie.
Like, Elon Musk gets mentioned like 4 times. I hope he that's probably like he's so popular. Like that's like product placement without him even paying for it.
Exactly, but it's so funny because like basically a part of the movie, so they can't use any spacecraft because like
they're all in museums. They said
they're all in museums for some weird reason. They don't have a new one. They only have the old ones in the museum, and they get the original Apollo 13, right?
I don't remember which one.
It's one of the Apollos.
And on the side of it, somebody spray paints.
I know. We thought it said to the moon, but when it zooms in, it says fuck the moon.
Which is now my favorite hashtag of all time.
Yeah, he's going to use that. But also, when you went to the bathroom, Brian went with us. He right now, he's not here to review the movie. He would have loved to, but it's kind of late for him, and he has to do his duties first.
His job, yep.
Yep. But when you went to the bathroom, the part where it says NASA's on the fin part nearby the thrusters, I was like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. And I was like, that's male genitalia.
Somebody drew like a dick.
Somebody drew a dick on it.
Penis.
No, like awesome. Legit, like I tapped on Brian's shoulder and I was like, is that a penis? He's like, oh my God, yeah, it is.
Well, that's what it looks like when the spaceship's launching too. It's the movie is a mess. Guys, what I'm suggesting here is that if you're going to go see it, please, like, this weekend it's that and Jackass Forever, like the only movie.
Yeah, Jackass Forever is premiering tomorrow.
You'll probably like Jackass Forever more, unless you're like me and you're a masochist who loves bad movies. Like, I understand that this is not a good movie. That does not mean it's not a fun time at the movie theater.
It's super fun. Like, so what happened was, basically all the NASA workers and military officials, they all run to the bunker already. They already gave up. And this is still in the beginning of the movie. But only 2 people who stay with Casey, right?
Casey, yep.
Casey, they figure out a math problem and they stayed behind. And then, like, Halle Berry basically sends off the kids with the Asian spy. We're gonna call her a spy because I don't know why she's there.
She's like,
we're gonna call her a spy.
Foreign exchange student. That was totally a note from 10 Cent Studios.
Yeah,
that they had to have this character in there.
Basically, she gives them the card to drive away. No. The Asian spy and her kid, they were planning to go on the plane too. Yeah. But then she tells both of them, go without me. I'm going to talk to them real quick. And she's like, what are you doing? And they're like, we solved the problem. Yeah. And she was like, where have you been? Look around you. Everybody's gone.
Leaving.
And then when they finally launched the rocket, like the 2 guys who stayed behind, like legit Brian and I and you, we all they bounce into
because of gravity is being they start literally bouncing into the helicopter, which still works somehow for some reason.
It was so dumb. I was like, are they skipping? And then, like, you see
dude, it's so bad.
You see one of them skipping, and I'm like, no.
Like, you can tell that nobody hears, and like, they all know it's a bad movie, and that's fine.
Yeah, guys, like you said, that one employee, the one that was skipping, like every time he takes off his glasses, he does this, and you're like,
I just imagine that it's the actor making. He's like, gee, how am I going to motivate myself to make this scene? And he's like, oh God, that's because I'm making this movie. Oh.
Exactly.
I've got this article here. It says, is Moonfall an actual movie or a prank that's being played on audiences? We're still not 100% convinced that Roland Emmerich's pro-conspiracy theorist anti-moon throwback is a real film. Okay, I don't know what anti-moon means, and we're not going to read this article, but I did get a kick out of that headline. I also like how they make, like, the fact that there's a conspiracy theorist character somehow makes it pro-conspiracy theory, which is ridiculous, but it's Rolling Stone, which means it's garbage.
For sure.
It really, one thing that Rolling Stone does have right is that it doesn't feel real sometimes. Like I said, Independence Day is just as much of a dumpster fire, but the movie makes sense, and it's got a strong, like, characterization. These characters, you feel like you grow with these characters as the threat is more real. And maybe it's because the AI doesn't have, like, a real form. It's just like a faceless CGI blob that you don't feel as if they're facing anything concrete.
Yeah.
Right? But they also don't make it feel like the AI is all powerful and dangerous. It's just a vague CGI blob that they have to defeat, and it makes no sense.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
It's dumb because, like, legit, when the crisis first happened, they sent 3 astronauts. So apparently that's their last rocket. They sent 3 astronauts to go investigate it, and they have a rover, and they send the rover over, but then the big blob comes in and then goes into
Are you okay there?
Yeah, that's me reacting what happened in the movie.
And it, like, goes into their helmets and kills them.
Yeah, I legit thought they made an Aliens reference because that's what happens, like, in Alien, kind of, where, like...
Well, it comes out of the people in Alien, not...
No, but, like, it still stalks you. That's what I mean. It stalks you a little bit.
Like, I will say one thing is they don't really do a lot... One thing that's good is they don't do a lot of, like, pop culture references. That's not really a Nolan Emmerich staple. The product placement was kind of annoying, but in general...
buy it.
And Michael, the stepdad's literally a Lexus car salesman.
Yeah.
He runs a Lexus dealership. And the other thing is, like, so the first scene in the movie is them on this first mission in 2011, and then it cuts to current year, and then the moon's just suddenly out of orbit, and stuff starts going wrong, and people just kind of accept it. Because, like, there's vague
disaster. This is another propaganda movie. No, like, I'm joking.
It's just bad.
It's so bad, but it kind of reminds me of, like, Don't Look Up.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, I don't think that.
No, like, the people, how they're reacting, they're like, don't look up. You're fine. And, like, they just go with the flow.
It is weird that the news, like, the reporters are like, is it going to, like, the NASA has, like, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And then the news is like, is it going to be catastrophic? I'm like, why are you still reporting? Leave. Go somewhere. But where do you go? You can't go.
They run to the mountains first, and then after that, they decide to go to the bunkers.
And then there's the weird side story where, like, as they're making the trip, like, the side characters are making the trip to the bunker, there's like these just dickhead guys who follow them around.
Exactly, but no,
and steal from them.
Yeah, so, like, they first encountered it. So it's Sunny, Jimmy, and I don't know what the Asian character's name is.
I don't.
They don't list her as
Melissa.
a credit. Melissa?
I believe it was Melissa.
Okay, so Melissa, they're driving in a...
She didn't get credit here. Remember, we had to look that was another weird thing about it.
So her English name is Kelly Yu, but her Chinese name...
Wenwen Yu.
Wenwen Yu. Basically, they're driving a Humvee.
A Humvee.
Humvee. Did I said D?
Humvee.
My bad.
That's something completely different, I think. I don't want to know what a Humvee is.
I don't know. A Humvee vehicle that's supplied by the military. And Halle Berry was like, yeah, just drive it. You have a walkie-talkie to talk to your dad when you arrive. And basically they're driving it, and the dickheads they tell them, get out of the car.
Yep.
And, like, they take both cars, and then Jimmy... He lost his backpack because the dickheads were like, we don't know what's in the backpack.
We're
Just
gonna
take it
anyways. Yep.
And then, like, basically, they're like, what we're going to do now? And Sonny is like, don't worry, I know a place. And he goes to this place in the mountains, like, somehow.
It's his dad's, like,
old compound.
Other compound or something like that. It's so random.
But I thought he lost all his money.
Well, money doesn't matter at this point now because society is collapsing.
But it's so funny because they name, like, a throwaway character who's blonde, and her name's Karen, and she wouldn't let them in.
Yep.
He was like, just let me in. I just want a car. And she's like, no, I have the right to protect my territory.
Oh man, it's just, guys.
Property. My bad. Property.
The moral of the story is that. If you're going to the movie to get high, to assume that you're going to find high cinema in a Roland Emmerich movie, that's your own fault for thinking that that's what you're going to get. It's not.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a ridiculous, overly done CGI fest that is, in my opinion, a hilariously bad movie that's so bad it's good, I can't. in good conscience, I can't ask you to spend money on this and go see it unless those are like things that you are okay with. Like, I went and saw it because I know that I'm going to like something that is clearly going to be bad. I'm always happy to be proven wrong where it ends up being good. That's rarely the case in movies like this. But I can't in good conscience advise you to go spend your hard-earned money on it. But if the way I've described it seems at all like something you would like, I will say that you may enjoy it. But if you're going to expect it to be a great movie, that's not what you're going to get.
Nope.
So, Miracle, do you suggest that they go see it?
If you like disaster movies, like literally a disaster movie, then
it's kind of a disaster of a movie.
Yeah. Puns not intended. Kind of.
Oh man, that was fun though. I mean, I had fun. That's the thing. I had fun.
We all had fun. Like later, the movie grew on me.
Yep. It was. It is what it is. I would have loved to have seen more of Donald Sutherland's character. Also, I'm sorry, guys. We didn't explain. It's really hard to explain the movie because it's
like all over the place. Like they have 3 storylines, basically like Halle Berry's ex-husband. Yeah, she has an ex-husband in the DOD. We don't know if he's alive or not.
He won't send up the nukes because he goes, my ex-wife's up there.
Exactly. Both you and Brett are like, oh, come on.
And he goes, I don't know why, but I think she's going to save us, because he was just literally never told what they were doing.
Exactly. And he was like, I believe in my ex-wife. She'll save us.
He's like vaguely like, I don't know. He literally says, I don't know why, because the script never told him why.
Exactly.
It makes no sense. Guys, like, if you watch this review and you go see it and still expecting to be some type of masterpiece, that's on you guys.
Yeah.
But if you want a brain dead good time at the movies, my opinion is that it is fun. You just have to temper your expectations.
Also, this movie theater that we went to, really cool, Warehouse 14 or 13.
It's just Warehouse. I think it's a 10.
Oh,
Warehouse 13 was a TV show.
Sorry.
A sci-fi TV show.
Okay, my bad. I'm just calling all the sci-fi TV shows. But Warehouse Cinema, cool place to see.
Reclining seats and stuff like that.
And it's heated. But also, when we're in the movie theater, literally it was only 6 of us, if you include me, Brett, and Brian.
Yeah, I saw 2 go in front of us.
Yeah, there was 1 person behind us.
Only one?
Yeah, only one.
They went alone?
Yeah. And
he asked his wife. She's like, I'm not going with you to see
It was a she.
It was a she. She's like, goes to her husband. He's like, I gotta work. I'm not going to see this stupid movie.
Yeah, but then she left before we did.
Did she?
Yeah, because like I thought you saw her, but like when I went to see if you're okay and I turned around, she wasn't there anymore.
So, guys, like I said, this movie isn't going to... I don't believe this movie's going to do this well this weekend. Jackass is going to dominate the box office, which means I have to go to an ATM and pay Miracle her $1. I guess for me, like part of me is just nostalgic and wants to see disaster movies make a comeback, but it's just probably not going to happen anytime soon.
It's dumb.
It's very dumb. So... that was fun. That was fun. Did you enjoy?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. I was hoping for a disaster, like legit.
And it was.
I was like hoping for a flop, which kind of did happen.
It's. I mean, box office was. This thing cost $150 million to make. Like, this is going to be a huge flop.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. At least next we have Uncharted. I believe next to look forward to. I'm
so excited for that because Tom Holland's in it, and also what's his name? Mark
Wahlberg.
Thank you.
Yes.
I couldn't remember his first name for a weird reason.
Love Mark Wahlberg.
But yeah, they're both going to be in it. I'm excited to see that. Maybe that might be the terrible movie I'm hoping for.
I think that'll be better. My guess is that Tom Holland wouldn't have gotten attached to something like that.
No.
If he didn't.
Have you watched the Netflix movie that he was in that's called the something Devil Inside Us?
I never saw it.
It's like vaguely religious and it's on Netflix. It was okay. Like for me, if you want to sit through a long dialogue movie, that's the movie for you. Well,
I'll tell you which movie you don't go to see if you want dialogue, and that's Moonfall.
Moonfall has terrible dialogue. I don't know what's happening. Like some of the things they say, I'm like, what?
Oh, it's so badly written. I just listen. I think we've given them enough of a disclaimer. So that was the point. Is I had fun. Miracle had fun.
Yeah, it's a fun movie if you, as Brett said,
if you like that stuff.
Yeah, well, if you want your brain to be completely dead.
Like, literally, maybe the reason this review is going so poorly is because both our brains have literally been melted by how dumb this movie was.
It was. The dumb skipping to the... Oh, God. I'm still dying.
It is what it is, my friend.
I'm still dying.
We suffer for our work.
I know, but it's so funny, like that one scene where they're finally in space, like they finally go into space, like Casey's phone like flips over and it's a cat photo.
All I could think of, I'm like, I can't be the only person who's thinking, do phones work in space?
Yeah, 5G is up there.
Okay. All right.
There's a 5G satellite. So this is real science. They do have a satellite that works up there. So they have better Wi-Fi than us.
That is just sad.
Yeah,
but they're saving us from the moon, so I guess they deserve it.
Well, they had to destroy the phone because technology was going to kill them. Big spoiler, they destroyed the phone because it had Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and the AI could sense the technology or something.
Exactly, it's so dumb. But okay, also explain the name of the cat. The cat threw me off.
The cat's name was
it's a famous...
It wasn't...
It's not Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, it was Fuzz Aldrin.
It was Fuzz Aldrin. And like in the beginning of the movie, like Casey gets mad at his cat. He's like, Fuzz Aldrin, I told you to pee in the kitty litter, in the litter box. And he lifts up his cat and he throws away the pea-soaked newspaper. But then he looks and he's like, oh my God, you're a genius.
And he gets an idea from the piece. Oh my God, it's so bad.
It's so dumb. And then like he pretends to be Brian, because like there's a bunch of kids at a museum like looking for your tour guide, and like their teacher is complaining to like somebody who's a part of management, and like they said, you're late, explain to us about space. And then he explains like his crazy conspiracy theory, and the teacher's just sitting there like, what?
Yeah,
she doesn't care. She's like, I'm getting my paycheck. And then like Brian finally comes in, and he's like, who are you? And he's like, I've been meaning to talk to you.
It's so weird, guys. Just if you go see it and you hate it, don't blame me. Don't say we didn't warn you. Miracle, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media?
I don't have social media because AIs are after you, and it's poison for your brain.
That was fantastic. Guys, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Brett Dasovic. And then for full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis, not these segments, you can find us on Spotify, on Amazon Music, on Apple Podcasts, and on Pandora. And if you found this video on YouTube, please like the video, comment on the video if you saw the movie. God help you. God help us all. Please subscribe to the channel when you leave comments, everything like that. It really helps us. And then if you want to follow us on social media, it is on Twitter at popculture_show. Miracle, do you want to say something?
I wanted to pitch an idea. We should ask the audience to pick what next movie we should watch.
Maybe we will do. We'll see. Well, we got Uncharted coming up. We'll
after Uncharted, choose a movie for us.
Well, you'll check back with us, and we'll see. So it's on Twitter at popculture_show, and then make Dane, our friend, very happy. Follow us on Facebook and on TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, and we will be back with full episodes on Monday. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.